Well, everybody. Call me a liar, a horrific, terrible liar, because I was supposed to do some research in regards to what we were going to do with this team, and I did not do said research. But we have decisions to make. Our goaltending, is what it is. It's not bad. But defensively, we have too many people making too much money with 2 RFAs to sign, including Ville Usatalo, who wants $3.4 million. So that sucks. We have to decide who we're getting rid of here. And I don't know who I want that to be, because I don't hate the idea of having some veteran defensemen on this blue line, because we've had such a young team over the course of this run. Folius, hello, and Palms, thank you for the 42 months. I'm going to need you to root for the Cats as hard as you possibly can, because otherwise, my goodness, we're going absolutely nowhere. And Megalodon, what's going on as well. So we're going to check some trade values here. But like I said, we have a couple of people that we need to sign. We only have $2.8 million in cap space, so we do have to get rid of somebody. Or we could pair multiple defenders together to then go out and get, hopefully, an even better defenseman. But I do not know if there's a good defenseman out there. There are forwards on the likes of the Anaheim Ducks, which would be nice. So let's test the market really quickly. Honestly, everyone's tradable, too. Let's take a look around. Anaheim obviously has some interesting players. Boston, Buffalo's got Nathan Gerby making $6 million. I swear to God, every half-decent forward makes $5+ million. It's nuts. Nick Hjalmarsson. He took a lot of penalties, didn't he? Not that many, actually. Could always go for a shutdown defenseman. Could always do it. Paul Stastny. Columbus isn't moving anybody we're interested in. Dallas still has Goligoski, Louis Eriksson. What else do we got on my amazing for the legendary matchup? Oh, God. Dude, I feel sorry for anyone who has to watch Chicago and the Vegas Raiders. I feel sorry for anyone who has to watch the Patriots, like myself. Watching bad football it's just never a good idea, you know? Shea Weber, boy. It technically wouldn't solve the cap issue, would it? To bring in Shea Weber. Or Mark Stahl. But Shea Weber looks to be the best name value player that we could bring in on the defensive side of things. Him or like Alex Edler. Or Jeff Schultz. If we were to go after Shea Weber, $8 million bucks. Look at the defensive side of things here really quickly. They want Severson, they want Summers. I mean, obviously I'd like to keep one Chris Summers, but Severson and Summers. Is there a bad player that we can take back? Zuccarello was on the block, but his value was low, meaning he's not that good at this stage. We also take on Derek Mathers. Will this go through? Damon Severson and Chris Summers to Nashville for Shea Weber, boy. Block shots, plays hockey the right way. Shea Weber, boy. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with that. So Weber, Usatalo, McDonald, Petrovic, Green, and Klubertons. And then we still have Toby Enstrom. So somebody else has to go. If we pair 2 more defenders. Did Winnipeg have anybody? I don't know if we'll be doing any fee for tonight. We'll see. Schultz. There was Edler. To be honest, shout out to Terabyte, by the way, for the 3 months. 3 beautiful months on TML. Thank you very, very much. Mark Stahl can suck it. Mark Stahl can suck it. To be honest, we could go after a forward at this stage. But I really do like the idea of defensive swap for defensive swap. Mills, what's going on? Could be the old Hjalmarsson as another shutdown defender. So if we were to go on the defensive side of things, I wouldn't want to get rid of Klubertons. But Klubertons, Green, McDonald, Usatalo, Weber. If we use Alex Petrovich and Toby Enstrom, that should go through once we take somebody back in the deal, which will be this guy. Hjalmarsson for Petrovich and Enstrom. Quite far off, apparently. Quite far off. It's a third-round pick, do it. How about a third and a fourth? We acquire Nick Hjalmarsson from Chicago. So with that, Weber, Usatalo, McDonald, Green, Hjalmarsson, Klubertons. It's a good mix of some younger guys surrounded by veterans, especially like staunch defensive veterans. Might just be the kind of insulation for our younger guys that we need. It might be. Learned of Japanese Gridiron Football League called the X League. They have a team called the Tokyo Gas Creators. Isn't Japan wonderful? 4, 5, 6. So I can't send down S yet. Let's go best lines. I need to go sign a certain RFA defenseman in Usatalo. Do I also have the space to sign Virtanen? Not going to sign him yet. Let's get Usatalo under contract. Wouldn't trade away players. It won't help your GM rep. What reputation? I don't have a reputation. My reputation's so bad, I essentially don't have a reputation. When's the 2K8 franchise? Fun fact, the NHL 2K is from the 360 era, are all sitting on my desk as well. So, 3, 4, 5, 6. Send down Esh. And then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 with Mathers. That should leave us, should leave us enough space to sign Kimmo Virtanen. It looks like it. So I think we've made this work cap-wise. We had to kind of change up our defense a bit. Obviously, guys like Kulikov and Damon Severson, those guys, Alex Petrovich, like they've been here forever, but we haven't won a damn thing with them, so we might as well try something different. As Virtanen signs the deal. Endo, I don't give a damn about my bad reputation. Do. Let's send Roy Kessel down. I want to keep Cam Abney. He was actually pretty good in the playoffs. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do I have another enforcer? I do have a grinder in Jim Rank. Grand's a two-way. Let's bring in Jim Rank. Just to fucking hit people. So our team this season. Gallant, Klesla, Ennis. You know what? I'm a little bit worried about there not being enough puck to go around. Pens fan, what's up? Oh, man, these player types are a bit weird, though. If we have Matheson on the fourth line... The thing is about snipers is it really didn't matter from my experience with the game. It just really didn't matter. I keep thinking that it does, but every time I set it up to matter, it really doesn't. Let's just go best lines. Let's just go best lines. I am worried about Ennis taking away goals from Klesla, but you know what? That's a really tough top line for any team to deal with. Our defense is McDonald, Weber, Usatalo, Green, Hjalmarsson, and Klubertons. And then again, we still have Comrie and Boyd in goal. I think we're all right. I think we're all right. I've said that before, and it's come back to haunt me. But do we have the chance to be competitive this season? Yes. Will we blow a 3-1 lead in the playoffs again? Maybe. But we did win our preseason game 9-1 over Winnipeg. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. I'm not giving up on this, at least not yet. This has all the makings of a very typical series for me. The ebbs and the flows, the confidence, the depression. And regardless, still no championship to show for it. This seems to happen in a lot more franchise than you would think. What I missed last night, more playoff heartbreak, Nighthawk. I was attending a stream for the end of a web serial that is actually still going. I think they've been streaming for more than 30 hours. 2023 is weird. That's my response. 2023 is weird. So. Oh, goodness. Goodness. Swizz, what's up? What's up? What's up? And again, welcome in, everybody, to another fabulous night of content, I hope. But I did mention it a minute ago that on my desk, so right now, this is what is currently on my desk. We have the remaining hard copies, NHL 14, 15, Legacy, and then all the 2Ks. This isn't all the NHLs, of course. I have the ones prior to NHL 11 that's over on my shelving. Of course, I had the digital editions for the Xbox One era. So, you know, it's funny. I had that moment of like, oh God, what am I going to do content-wise now that we realized NHL 24 is not good? And hey, we at least found an option because this is fun. I will say it was very funny. Very, very funny. You know, I will say, like, I go through peaks and valleys, I guess, as well when it comes to checking the YouTube comment section. Not because I don't care. I do check the comment section quite a lot. I don't respond all the time. And I do have the tendency to to respond to people who are being dicks because it's more fun to go back and forth. Including one comment today from somebody named Endurance M, who said maybe I should listen to that Endo guy more often. You know, I tend to respond to dickheads like that, you know, more often than not. But there was one comment, though, that's kind of stuck out in my mind. And it was someone who's like, you wanted NHL 24 to be bad. You know, the one game that I actually got my hopes up for. The one game that I wish I could play right now and enjoy more than anything else. I wanted it to be bad the whole time, though. Remember all that optimism I had? Especially if you watch the Nashville 23 series. Remember all that optimism I had as we were building up to that game? And I'm like, man, this could be pretty good. It's actually the opposite. I wanted it to be really fucking good because now I feel like an asshole because I told people as well to maybe get their hopes up a little bit. And it turns out that was the wrong thing to tell people. I feel like a dickhead myself because I got my hopes up for once. On the bright side, though, now we get to play old NHLs, and I love old NHLs, including this one, even if it's trying to kill me. But it is really fun, though. There's been a lot of comments of people just being like, here's how you pronounce this random dude's name. And I'm like, thank you. Because I love when people are like, oh my God, it's John Stamos. Like, I watched him play in the ECHL for 2 games before he retired to become a mechanic in Glen Falls, New York. He also coaches my daughter's softball team. And he once fought off a bear with his bare hands. And you might think that means bare hands, but no, he killed another bear previously, put on his hands, and then killed a bear with another bear's hands. It's, oh, cool, thanks. Thanks for the information about random dude who never played in the NHL. Oh, yeah, it's John Stamos. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I always confuse him with the actor. Already amped up 23 minutes in. Text, yeah, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Today's been weird. Today has been weird. That's all I can say. I don't even know where I am anymore. Help me. Gonna go senile before I'm 30. Fucking A. God, we have fun. We have fun. Goodness. Goodness. Stamos is a hero in the ECHL. Uh-huh. Yep, see? Thank you for proving my point, Dutters. Thank you. EA made you look like a shill for being optimistic. Kind of, yeah. Kind of. I honestly, I feel more bad for people like Nasher, because people act like he's never critical of the game, which isn't true at all. You know, for me, it's like I've been maybe hypercritical at times anyway. So, you know, give me a second here, Texky. Give me a second. Blake Millman. Why are you a fourth liner? You must be a tough guy. Called it. We'll claim random tough guy Blake Millman from the Boston Bruins. That's fair enough. All right. We'll just go ahead from there. All right, Texky, what's up? Oh, God. I wish you still streamed so I could tell people to go follow you, Texky, but I love you. I mean, so, just so it's not a joke, he sent me a picture of the food he's eating with the caption, "Why I'm fat." And here's my fat ass looking at this phone being like, that looks damn fucking good. Oh, God. Architect, it's gonna happen. It's written in the stars that one day we'll go have wings at a random place in Buffalo and eat until we die. I look forward to it. That's how I want to go out, downing buffalo wings with Architects. Goodness. But tempted to get a 360, so I don't have to get the AV component stuff, the HDMI, all the WWE and support stuff. But I think one is much less expensive than the other. Potentially, yes. Potentially. When I got this 360, because again, it's not my original one, I bought a refurbished one from a somewhat local shop, and it's been fine. And it wasn't all that expensive either. So, but yeah, definitely easier. Definitely easier to kind of go with the HDMI route instead of the composite. At the same time, when I stream, rarely at this point, but when I stream off of the N64, the PS2, I do have a composite to HDMI converter that costs literally like $8, and it works perfectly. Actually, in fairness, did I upgrade from that? No, I didn't. It's still the same one. Never mind. So yeah, no. Some of these things are, I think people think of them as more expensive than they actually are at this stage. So, wow, we're only midway through January. Jesus Christ. How are we only midway through January? Oh my God. All right. Well, here we are. I don't even know what I missed in chat. Well, I'm losing it. I'm just going to sit here, drink some water, try not to pass out, and hope that my team makes the playoffs. Oh, God. We have fun. We have fun here. Goodness. Give me a second here. Give me a second. goodness. There we go. Oops. No, I don't want to play the All-Star game. I mean, I do, but I don't. We do have a decent record. You know, things are going badly when Tukey pulls out. We have fun. I need to put that on a fucking t-shirt at this stage. Oh my god. Jack Edwards doesn't sound great tonight. I don't like to speculate on anyone's health, but people have been noting, like, Jack Edwards doesn't quite sound the same, really starting back to last year, if not a little bit earlier. I just hope he's all right, is all I can say, right? I mean, because I think most people have learned that over the last few years, man. You just never fucking know. And I give credit to a lot of people in the public spotlight who are just like, I'm not going to say anything about what's going on. I just want to do my job. You know, obviously we saw that with Chadwick Boseman, Norm Macdonald. So, I hope it's nothing, you know, nothing serious. I hope it's just like, oh yeah, no, he's having an off day. And I mean, what, Jack Edwards, he's no spring chicken anymore. The guy is 66 years old, man. He's been around for a long time. Like, he was, like, a lot of people forget, before he was with the Bruins, Jack Edwards was on ESPN for 12 years. I'm pretty sure it was like 2002 or 2003 that he went and started doing MLS coverage with the Chicago Fire. And then after one season, he switched over to Nesson after the lockout, the 05 lockout. So, I mean, Jack Edwards has been the main voice of the Bruins for 18 years now, almost, you know, we're getting close to 20. But again, he was on ESPN. I am 29 years old. He was on ESPN before I was born. A couple of years before I was born, he was already on ESPN. Like, he's been around for a real fucking long time. And obviously not everybody will celebrate. Some people will when he eventually decides to retire, and those people are wrong. But, you know, if you're someone my age or older, you know, those voices that you grow up with hearing call these games, they're gotten old, man. Like, it sucks. Like, we lost Rick Janneret this year. Doc Emmerich retired. Obviously, we, you know, just heard about Barry Melrose in the past couple of weeks now, the past week or so. Like, it sucks, but it's life, right? So, Dabrowski, what's going on? Welcome in. Welcome in. I miss Bob Cole. Shout out to the Rangers getting a goal. Beautiful. So, not to get all existential, by the way, but, you know, you can end up thinking that way when you talk about, like, oh, yeah, shit, I wish this person doesn't sound the same, and they don't quite seem to be as quick-witted anymore. It's like, how it goes, man. It's how it goes. Right before the trade deadline here, we need to take a look at how the team is performing to see if there's anything that we have to do. Well, Mike Boyd played one game and got lit up. Comrie's got a 925. He didn't do well in the playoffs, but I'm willing to give him another chance. Mike Green's got 32 points. Shea Weber and Ville Usatalo. These guys could cost us in the playoffs, man. They could cost us way too many penalty minutes. We might have to take a look around to see if we can flip them. I mean, both are really good defensively. Both are physical. I mean, it's Shea Weber. Usatalo's a younger guy, but 71 discipline hurts. Top 5 hockey commentators to listen to, in my honest opinion. In no particular order. That's a real tough question. Gary Thorne. Doc Emmerich. Who am I going to leave off the list? Who am I going to leave off the list? There are people I have to leave off the list, and I hate it. I hate it so much. I don't know, man. Jack Edwards is on there for me. Again, I feel like a lot of people are just like, oh, he's such a homer. I have heard so many times where Jack Edwards, you would have thought the guy was fucking losing it, to put it non-sexually, with some of the goals that other people, from teams have scored. I'm going to go Doc Emmerich, Gary Thorne, Jim Houston. I mean, obviously the NHL games. Jack Edwards, and then a fifth is really tough. Honestly, Texky mentioned Rick Janneret, and that's fair. I do love me some Rick Janneret. Jesus Christ, the penalty minutes from what the hell does our penalty kill look like right now? If our penalty kill is abysmal, we got to get rid of the guys who are taking penalties. We're the second best team in the league. What's our PK at? 86%. Third best PK in the league. So despite the penalties, we are still looking good, which is kind of surprising. Let's go to the deadline. Take a look around, see what other teams are potentially selling, and maybe we can make a move from there. Maybe we can. AJ, all good, buddy. All good. Okay. I don't want to mess with the team too much here, but let's see what's out there. We have a first-round pick that we could easily use to make a trade, too. We got a little bit of cap space. The Ducks are still trying to move Bobby Ryan and Corey Perry. If only there was cap retention in this game, I could get both. But there isn't cap retention. Got the likes of Brad Marchand, David Krejci, who's in the AHL. Jesus. You sort by time shorthanded. Honestly, I should have. But the biggest thing to me was whether or not it's proven to be a detrimental thing. So. Oh, goodness. Yeah, Wheels, I mean, that's the only way to handle it. I never understood the idea, getting back to the Jack Edwards thing really quickly. I never understood the, I want to know what's wrong with them type of thing, I never understood that. Never did. Whether, and especially too, it was really gross. I mean, that was really kind of instilled at the time after Chadwick Boseman passed away, where people were like, I didn't even know he was sick. And there were people being like, oh man, do you think he's on drugs or something? Because he was looking a bit more frail. And it's you have to feel like the biggest piece of garbage because your only defense is, well, I didn't know. And it's so you didn't know, but you're immediately going to go to, well, he might be on drugs. It's just gross. It's just gross. Anyway, welcome to Real Talk 24. Goodness. All right, there are still players that we could get, but the cap hits are fucking nuts. Again, $7 million for Bobby Ryan. I don't see. Has Filatov proven to be worth it? Oh yeah, 35 goals. I had a feeling with that shooting category. This guy was a free agent signing. I had a feeling he'd be worth it. Green, Filatov, Ennis, Chalmerson. Matheson's making 3.8. There aren't too many guys we could move out. There would have to be player swaps. Michael Frolik, Chabert Brule. How could Chabert Brule at this point? It's a depth forward. I wish it would just stay to what... Dixit resorted it. Michael Frolik. Yeah, there's a reason why we didn't sign him. He's worth way too much. Washington. Trying to move Nick Backstrom. Matthew Perreault, Matt Bolesky. I just don't really know what else we can do with this team. We're already the second best team in the league. So many people make too much goddamn money. I would pretty much have no choice but to swap a player for another player. The problem is I don't think any of our guys have been that bad. Like, I'm worried about the penalties that Shea Weber and Usatalo take, but it hasn't been costing us. It could cost us in the playoffs. How's Barron doing this year? Okay, Barron's, he's been struggling a bit. That is somebody that we could look to move. Center, Klesla, Reinhardt, Zhao. How's Zhao doing this year? 42 points. Sean Zhao's been awesome. I just want to make sure I'm not making a mistake by not doing anything. Matheson, former first overall pick. 28 points on the third line. He's good defensively. We could look for a replacement for him before his value starts to drop. How good's Tyler Ennis doing? Still really, really good. Only guy I can think to move right now is Matheson. How's Rank been doing on the fourth line? Not great. Not great. All right. Brule and Frolik. Frolik makes too much damn money. All of these guys, again, make way too much money. Even 39-year-old Alex Semin. Dude, Dale Weiss is making $6.5 million a season. Holy God, is the entirety of the cap structure just absolutely screwed in this reality. Jesus. Tomasz Hertl on the Leafs. But they were looking to trade Joffrey Lupul, who killed me in the playoffs a couple of times. Who's honestly having a really good season. Would I trust Joffrey Lupul over someone like Matheson? The answer might be yes, because again, Matheson, he's never going to be amazing. If we go with Lupul and a first for Matheson, which might not go through, but if that goes through, that's worth it. It clears out cap space. We get an insurance first rounder that we could use to make another trade, and they took it. All right, so we move on from Matheson only because he's going to be just okay. And for that trade value, it makes sense to get somebody who will be a little bit more than just an okay player. And again, Joffrey Lupul, if he plays like he did against us in the playoffs each time we played Toronto, he's going to be awesome in the playoffs. Then there's Bobby Ryan, who I would love to get. I mean, it's Bobby Ryan. Hasn't had a great season. But it's Bobby Ryan. Is there anybody else that we are considering moving on from? Not Klesla, not Reinhardt, not Zhao. Gallant and Ennis were fine. We need a different fourth liner, but that's not a big deal. How's Acker done? I don't really plan on getting rid of this guy. He struggled a bit defensively. We can always find somebody to replace him. We don't have to trade him. Filatov was doing great. Barron was kind of mid. Vertanen was doing well, wasn't he? He was doing pretty good. At this stage, and we know Abney takes a lot of penalties. Is there any bit of forward depth that we can get? Apparently, we could afford Bobby Ryan. It doesn't actually drop the cap down by that much. Boston again. Max Freeberg, Brad Marchand. What's Brad Marchand looking like at this stage? Archie's actually still a pretty good player. 70 discipline. Apparently, Brad Marchand's a fourth line too. Brad Marchand is Jay McClement in this timeline. Nathan Gerby on an expiring deal. There's Kessel and Bolin, 2 players we had for a while. It feels like it just goes back to Anaheim. Or to Dallas with Louis Eriksson, who is super, super well-rounded. I also have Ryan Callahan. He can't be that highly rated at this point. Still a 79. I mean, like, Eriksson and Callahan would be some decent forward depth. I saw Sean Mathias there. Doughty, Kopitar. Jesus. Well, the Kings are finally looking to sell off. Dude, even Kyle Clifford makes $2 million. Holy shit. I just know we have draft picks, and I feel like we should use them. Cal Clutterbuck, Charlie Coyle, DSP. Blake Wheeler and Patrick Hornqvist. Grabner's got a 7-year deal at 35 years old. Good lord. Stepan and Kreider. Dubinsky is there too. Obviously, Kreider wouldn't have become what he is in real life. He's not doing that badly, though. I still think, from the looks of it, the best player available at the deadline is Bobby Ryan. And if you want to make a splash, you often go for the best player. Honestly, though, the best player might be Nick Backstrom. He's got 4 years left, though, at 7.8. Ryan's on an expiring deal. If I can work out a deal for Bobby Ryan, I feel like I have to. We have plenty of prospects that we could give up to try to make this happen. We're going to push this team to the cap limit as best we can. Let me take a look at Rome. 21 years old, only a 66. He might not be too bad, but he also might not be the worst one to use. Okay, we are actually going to have cap issues. Didn't say it or show it, but we are technically going to have cap issues. Yeah, then there's really not much we can do, is there? Because everybody in this reality makes a boatload of money. I tried and tried and tried to find the right deal outside of bringing in like Ryan Callahan. I don't really feel like there's too much we can do. Go for like Callahan and a first. For Rome and a second. Let's go Rome in 2 seconds for Callahan in the first. Just a bit low, they say. And I have a good reputation with Dallas, so they're not even trying to fleece me. This whole having to run this entire franchise mode with one phone thing is nonsense, trash, garbage, and I hate it. And I hate it. All right. Where's Rome? Dude, I added a 3rd round pick, and that was still... that might be my biggest pet peeve in gaming, and it's been that way for years. Give me a second here. Goodness. Goodness, goodness. Okay. All right. Yeah, that might be my biggest pet peeve. Is like, oh, just a slight amount. I add an extra 3rd round pick, and you're like, you know, a third's still not enough. What the hell is your definition of slight? I don't think you know what slight means. But here, have a buttload of picks. Give me a first. Give me Ryan Callahan to kind of boost up this team a little bit. Get rid of a prospect who's probably not going to be anything special. He's certainly not bad, but We're trying to win. We have one more phone. Ovi still hasn't scored. Do we get concerned yet? He has had slow starts in the past, but this might be the most concerning slow start given his age. So yeah, I'd say it's a little bit concerning. Tyler Bozak. Playmaker Tyler Bozak. Who else do we have as a available option based on cap? Right now, it's still Tyler Bozak. Tampa with nobody. St. Louis, it's all prospects. The Sharks do have Matt Zuccarello. He did not become in this reality what he is in real life. Am I about to rely on Tyler Bozak to bail me out? Tisha Ginla scored again tonight. Yeah, exactly. Noted low AHL top 6 forward, Tisha Ginla. Eric Condra would also work. Looking at Condra, Bozak. Honestly, Chris Kreider could work, I think. Mathematically, I think he works. How good does Oshie look? He's a 68 at 22 years old. Shout out to Shady for the follow. Welcome in. How the heck are you? Welcome to this game trying to ruin my life. As it does on a nightly basis. We actually just don't quite have the money to pull off that trade like I'd prefer. Oh, what if we had Mathers? Hold on. We might be able to pull this off after all. Oh, come on. All right, so it does have to, in fact, be somebody making under 2.7 million, even though the cap only drops to 1.9. It's weird. Somebody making under 2.7 million. Trying to add one more solid forward piece before really pushing in the playoffs here yet again. What's Brett Bulmer at? 2 million? Third line power forward. Why is there no cap retention? That's future speak. That's future speak right there. What is this cap retention of which you speak? Son of a bitch, how do I not have the cap space? You're out of your mind. I 100. Fuck it. Screw it. We're done. We're done. We pulled off a couple of trades. We're good. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to deal with this game's silly cap shenanigans. Defense. Weber, McDonald, Green, Usitalo, Hjalmarsson, Klubertons. Forwards 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. With Abney, we can send rank down. Abney could be scratched if he needs to be. But it's Gallant, Klusla, Ennis, Barron, Reinhardt, Filatov, Lupul, Zhao, Virtanen, Acker, Callahan, Abney. So we do improve the bottom 6. Which, I mean, you want to say can't hurt, but it is an EA NHL game. So it could easily hurt. What should make us better may have, in fact, just made us significantly worse. Catcher, they just didn't add it in the game yet, man. That's it. There's no super secret, like, well, this was a thing, or there were these cap implications. It just wasn't a thing yet. Although, in fairness, maybe it had to do with the 2013 lockout with cap retention. That's the only thing I could think that it might have actually been. But this was a year before the 12-13 lockout, so maybe it was that. Maybe. Ryan Callahan and Joffrey Lupul. And we still lose 4-0 to Pittsburgh right, well, not right after the deadline, but pretty close. Okay, we just got shut out in back-to-back games. Holy shit, boys. Can you not? Every time you make your team better in this game, they get worse. It's insane. And I hate it. I absolutely hate it. We do have 39 wins, though. Whole lot of PIMs, but we'll deal with it. It's all right. It's okay. We're fine. We just lost back-to-back games again. Thank God we have a bunch of overtime losses. Thank God. Okay, and then we beat Montreal 6-0. Cool, so we're a super inconsistent team, which means we're either going to win the Stanley Cup or get swept in the first round. Give me 1 second here. Trying to think of how to send a message that doesn't sound super passive aggressive. Yeah, you ever have that struggle where you're like, okay, I worded something, you're like, nope, can't send that. That sounds extremely passive aggressive. Can't send that message. No, sir. Give me a second. Give me a second here. It's wedding related. So. Okay, we did make the playoffs. 44 wins. Philadelphia Flyers in round number 1. I hope to God this is the last time I have to say, hey, we're back in the playoffs and things are going to be all right. We'll look at the stats here in a minute. Or tomorrow on the YouTube side of things, because I got to hit stop record.